guys. It's 5:17 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, Thursday, the 27th of July, 2023. The diary of the Griever named John Weaver, which would be me. We handle our grief in many ways, and some people don't let grief define them, and they try to find ways to deal with it and cope. A long time ago, I thought I had that, only because I had people that I care about a great deal, and I've had them with all my life, basically all my life. I mean, it's not like a year or two away from them. No, it's basically all my life. My brother, well, that was a different story on him altogether. He chose to go in the military when he was graduated out of high school. Spent about a few years in it. He had things happen to him in the military, bad things that made him leave and come right back. And part of that leaving, he was trying to take care of the family when Grandma was bedridden with a stroke. And he had to make up to the Navy on that one. Came back a changed man. Some things not for the better, but took him a while to realize that and started a long road of recovery. And since then, I'd been with him, watched each other's back all our days, and we took care of Ma all our days. So we were tight. We were tight. Watching the Ready Room with Will Wheaton on it. We're talking to the actress who played Ortegas and how she was reliving her own personal. There was a gentleman named Brian. My brother's name was David Warshaw. My mama was legally one name, but everyone called her Mary Ann Shaw. Something in the show that Will Wheaton was talking about in his Ready Room about having grief defined. Well, yeah, I guess grief did define me. And the thing is, people lose the people that they love and care about. And the hardest damn thing for me to keep trying to relate to people is I've been there, done it, and I didn't even like it at the age of 4 years old, and that defined me right there. How I lived life, how I dealt with life, how I looked at life, because I didn't look at it with enough facade and veneer, and I thought my structures were sound enough until last 10 or 11 years. 2012 was defining a lot more, and 2013, besides being taken ability to work sometimes, sometimes shit, mentally and physically, and then lose a place of residence. But before you do that, you have to lose a mother. Struggle for survival and identity. Living with my brother in a trailer home for about a year and a half, and dealing with keeping the place or defining, and then paying the price for that one by getting kicked out for about a month, and then ending up with this place. And this place is still a bug-ridden place. Still being defined all over the damn place. And I'm getting sick and tired of it too. I get sick and tired of living in places where trying to define me more and more. If you see any things crawling around, it's bug war. I'm still dealing with them. I still get to have sprayers come in most of the time to do their job. If there's about maybe about 5 weeks in a month, 5 Mondays, then count the other Monday off because that's how their schedule is. And for the other part, I'm dealing with what is right now. Ideal, I struggle. If I'm not triggered, I've already been triggered already. Because I'm hearing someone that is struggling with, and she is among us, the grievers. She's finding her way through her grief, her pain, how she's trying to explain it, how she's trying to talk about it and talk through it and live through it. She's not trying to let it define her. I've already let it define me a long time ago. I had lost people. I had grieved a little bit, but I hadn't mourned because I had to keep going through life. Only because the people I depended upon and lived with all my life are gone. So sometimes the question in the morning is, who the hell am I and what the hell am I trying to do and why am I still alive? What is my purpose this morning? What am I trying to do? What am I waiting for? What I'm waiting for right now is school to start back so I get back in, finish the college. You guys been following the videos, you know that, out of high school, screwed up 2 years of college and worked my ass off for 30 years. Different jobs. Support the family, keep the roof over the head, keep the food coming in, keep bills paid. That's what I did. That's all I knew. Didn't matter what little job skills I may have learned here and there, but it's trying to be supportive of family, trying to be part of a family, not trying to let anything else define me except for being part of a family. And that was the thing that I was trying to do. I mean, yeah, I had dreams of being a writer and being as good as writer as any other people I've read about or read their works. I didn't think I was in their caliber. Still not. But I still have to take a shot at it, don't I? Just to see if it is going to be good. And if it is, I'll be surprised. If it isn't, well then, maybe things can be improved upon eventually. Or maybe they can't. My grandmother would keep telling me a cancer slugger too lazy to try. Yeah. But in dealing with reality check, as it is a different thing altogether. Said before, death had defined me. Grieving and mourning had defined me a long time. How was I supposed to find pleasure in life when I couldn't even define who the hell I was? I always felt like I was inadequate. I get the precious gift put back into my body of life. Age of 4, going through heart surgery that should have killed a kid. And yet I'm still here. I mean, maybe to many people that'd be inspirational right there. For me, it was terrifying as hell. Because I didn't think my life, and I still don't think my life is all that inspirational. Yeah, I struggle every single day when I wake up and realize I'm still breathing. I come back to the land from the dreams, and sometimes I want to stay back in them because I didn't want to deal with reality, the life I've got right now. Dealing with my brother's not here. It's been about 5 years coming up in September. And my mama, about 11 years, since February of this year. And every time the anniversaries come up, they're hurting like hell because I'm missing them that much harder. I barely remember with a friend of mine who was like a surrogate mother. I know her name and the family too damn well. The problem is I don't even know what day she died. I don't even remember it. And it was hard as hell when my brother and I got the notification about it because it was only like it felt like yesterday. One day we were over there, and then I guess like it's the next 2 days later, we hear she's gone. It was all in like maybe weeks, but still. And seeing her laugh and seeing her smile, the hardest damn things, because they are, if they would be equated to smells, she would be the most strongest, pungent smell besides my ma. And in order that you would never forget this smile. My mother would smile and laugh, and she would take great glee torturing me and my brother on some occasions. And we'd do the same thing back. She knew how to push our buttons, and we had to push back. But she did it all in good fun, and she'd laugh. I remember the laughter. I also remember sometimes when she could be royally pissed off as hell. And I remember more of the laughter, and I remember more of her voice than I would remember the times when she would do the silent treatment and push two adults past as if they're nobody. In the last several years of her life, she was trying to focus more on the laughter instead of the being miserable. But she was there because there was a lot of people in her life that were already gone, and she was mourning and missing them a great deal. I didn't realize this until I was doing some soul searching last few years. Even during the COVID nightmare, I was trying to figure things out, whether or not it was my fault or not. And yeah, the guilt was there. The guilt was there. The only thing is, I had no control over Mama. I had no control over her closing herself off like that, for her not feeling the pain and the bitterness, having it expressed a great deal in front of people, including her family. She kept that inside. My brother did the same thing. They kept it inside. They hardly ever talked to anybody else, not even to themselves. And if they did, they were in private and weren't even talking to me about it. Nobody talked to me about it enough, or at all. Back in the early 80s, we lost our grandmother due to a stroke that bedridden her for a few years. One of the main reasons why my brother came back home for a time to help take care of her and Mama and myself, and then went back in the Navy and had to pay the price for it. Some decisions he made an impact on the rest of his life, good and bad. And I guess maybe he still wanted to be part of the family, one way or another. He always was. These recordings that I do about my family, despite the fact I may do things politically and talk about other items like that, I know if I'm triggered one way or another, I still have to talk about these feelings. I still have to talk about these thoughts. I have to be rambling all the damn time because I don't want to lose them all. Audio recordings and the video recordings have to be my legacy. They have to be my autobiography of sorts. A videography. My life. Maybe it'll make an impact on somebody else. I don't know. But I have to feel like I have more something too. And every time I keep thinking about my family, was I worth enough? And it's always the question, there's always the statement saying, why are you asking this? You already knew. Because I look at myself in the mirror and I keep wondering, did I do everything else I could to take care of my family? Did I do everything everything in my ability and in my conscience to do whatever I could for my family. Did I feel like I was adequate or inadequate? And every time I keep going through the emotional roller coaster, when I keep breaking myself apart, I always keep pleading to God, forgive me. Because maybe there was something that I didn't do to help take care of them. I wanted to let people know, let myself know, I guess, in a way. I did everything else I could. I couldn't control their emotional states. I couldn't control their thoughts. There was no way in hell I could have. Or the choice that they made concerning about holding in all the damn pain and having it consume them left and right. I had to do the opposite at this point over here. I had to be the pain in the ass. Even in life, I was a pain in the ass. And either I was right or I was wrong or I was both. Like I knew everything. Shit. Damn arrogance. It was arrogance of me. Still is. I may not have been what everyone else expected me to be. All I knew is I keep struggling with what I was back then and now I still am. I'm still trying to define me and I can't even do that sometimes. I don't know who the hell I am sometimes. But if I wake up in the morning and I feel like my body's still giving me aches and pains at this point over here, I'm still breathing at this point, and I want to go back to bed and sleep, so maybe I'm going to have a better day. But if I'm going to be emotionally disturbed by something in my dreams, and that's happened to me before. That's happened to me before. My dreams would, encountering my family, would either leave me with memories of it that I don't have to feel any pain or any sorrow for it, or something that would actually trigger me of anger, something in the dream that either I was angry at them or they were angry at me or we were both angry at each other. And I kept trying to figure it out all damn day. What did I do to upset you guys? What did I do to, what did I say or do that displeased you guys? All I wanted to do was please them. Sometimes maybe I wasn't successful in life, but in death right now, they're past, their ashes, they're residing up there. Their mortal remains. And yes, I'm constantly surrounded by the pictures on computer screens and on the cell phone and the pictures over here and in certain items around here that would mean something. Because that would tell me something that a presence of them is still here. A retainer of old items that they used to have. My brother's bed, a blue broken down recliner, used for storage. The cabinets that you see over here, we use dishes from our great aunt and grandma all the time. A few other knickknacks around here. The physical mortal items, but that's about it. The meanings behind them. I valued more of the pictures because they told me of the simpler times that I actually had. Or maybe they were easier or not easier, I don't know. But the pictures that were harder enough to deal with that I still couldn't. In dealing with, I was trying to remember the actress's name, Melissa Nevia, who played Erica Ortega. A special person she lost. Fans could relate to that. And the fans could try to relate how she was trying to hold things together, not let the grief define her. Unfortunately, I got older in my own age, and I felt like everything else was defining me. Except, yeah, I'd taken college courses two at a time because I just thought it would have been easier for me to get through them, and I was trying to enjoy them all, learn and absorb. It may have taken me nearly a decade, but when I'm done with it, it may be the lowest rung in the college, and I don't care. I'll be looking at myself and thinking, well, if I still have more time on earth, and I hope to God I do, maybe I can do a lot more with it. Maybe earn another letter grade. It'll take me a little bit more longer time, but in the meantime, try to do something in my life that's, I don't know, try to define me in one way or another. I called myself the griever because I am a griever. I'm a mourner. I have lost people that tore away my heart, and I'm still trying to put things back together again with duct tape, baling wire, chewing gum, and crazy glue. Try to get some spray paint to create a facade picture on it so people can actually see something smiling back at them instead of a grimacing bastard who looks at them and just grimaces through pain. People try to look at the horizon sometimes. I'm still struggling with the damn shit that I'm still piling up around me, and I'm still trying to push it away. All this emotional and other mental crap that goes along over here so I can actually keep pushing forward. And eventually, maybe I will see that light again, and then hopefully won't be afraid of it as much. As a 4 year old, I wanted to go upstairs and stay home. And it hurt like hell and probably made me feel a lot angry. And I didn't realize it at the time that God had a purpose. Someone, something up there had a purpose. It kept pushing me back down to my body. And all that time, pent up anger, resentment, fear. Some people thought I was still joyful and still hugging people left and right as a young kid because going through that, I didn't realize that inside I was stacking up and packing up that crap. But on the outside, I was trying to be a happy, loving kid. Maybe I was during that time. Didn't even realize the emotional bank I was still piling up. It was going to hit me later on down in life. Then I guess I became a resentful bastard during those days. I struggled as best as I could. It wasn't easy. It was never easy. It was never easy to be that kind of a person. I didn't have the relationships like other people would. I didn't have any relationships at all except staying with my family all the damn time. And still developing anger in relationships and not even realizing it, but some things I did. Self destruction. But struggle continued. And maybe the pride and the arrogance and the ego was still being built up during those days too. A lot more than what I realized. It took me a long while to understand that. Because I still have to push back on the arrogance and the ego and the pride. And last night I was failing at that one too. People I thought were friends felt like they backstabbed me as they were trying to get the hell out of here, not even give me benefit of the doubt or even telling me what the hell was going on. We're just moving out a few things. You're moving? No, well, we're just moving out a few things. We got too much stuff over here. Lied like crazy. They kept bringing back the truck. I keep moving more and more stuff out. May have been a long distance trip for these guys. But they couldn't even be bothering me to be straight with it. Just lie like crazy. Oh, we'll be in contact. We'll be in contact. We'll be in contact. I remember doing videos on these things. I don't know if I'm going to post it or not. Probably I do. Because it pissed me off that I had friends backstabbing me one way or another, lying to my face. You know, I tried not to lie to other people, and I expect them not to lie to me. But then again, my expectations were too damn high when it comes down for friends, and also family members as well. People may have been in the area going to different places, but hell, they couldn't even be bothering to see me, talk to me, or anything else like that. So yeah, that hurt. People I've known for all my life, and still. People I knew for a short time in my life, and I'm like, great. So something about me, something about my recording, something about I'm doing wrong, pissing off a hell of a lot of people. So it's like either it's on them or it's on me. And what the hell did I do to piss them off this time, except talking about me and my own damn feelings? Didn't hear anything from them. And that's the problem concerning about family members. I mean, you can try using social media to keep up with them and having their own lives, but that's it. You're looking through windows. They don't actually interact with you. Does anybody know? Does anybody care? Does anybody ever check up? Nope. So it's like you can look at everyone else's lives, but you don't get the interaction. You don't get to have the things like I used to have a long time ago. Things change, dynamics change in relationships with extended family members and also bloodline. Too damn busy. And it seems like I'm still forced to live on my own life. I still have to live my own life. I lived my life with my family home, for a long, long time. And trying to live without that. That's the hardest damn thing. If they're talking about grief defining me at this point, well, then I guess it's already been well defined. And maybe in a sense, I'm still a child inside, just living in an adult body. Feeling like everything and everything is betrayed, so do I have to start acting out on it? Do I have to start being angry at the world? And stop being angry at myself? And what am I angry at myself? What the hell did I do to piss them off or to piss myself off? I could try finding the blame and I could try manufacturing something like this just to ease or explain, but it's hard to come to the realization that these things happen. And people will come into your life and stay in there for a while and then disappear. And in this life, maybe they're not meant to stay. I'm supposed to keep moving forward. Despite the confusion, it leads to the anger, it leads to the frustration, and leads to being. I've had people online saying, "I'll be your friend." I think, and I'm thinking, "Oh my God, here comes the fish. Here comes the fishing hook. Trying to reel me in, sucker me in, huh?" I don't think so, Scooter Boy or Scooter Girl or. No. I live with the pain. I'll deal with the pain. I'll deal with the grief. It's already defined me, so be it. People don't like it. I don't care. I just have to keep struggling on my own. There was times in my life that I had been independent. Even when I was part of the family, I was still independent. That's how I treated myself as. I couldn't explain it anywhere or anyhow. I'm just doing the best I can for right now. I mean, I could just rear my head and say, people don't like it. Well, yeah, well, I don't like it, and I'm still struggling with this. So what else can I do about it? So I have to follow my gut, follow my heart. Well, my heart's already broken, so it's already screwed up, so I have to follow my gut. And I am on the point where I don't trust people anymore. I make acquaintances, that's about it, but friends, it seems like I feel more and more like a damn moving target. Get close enough to me to backstab me for whatever reason. So I have to keep distance from everybody. It's a hell of a way to it's a hell of a way to live, I'll tell you that much, and I don't like it. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm wondering who the hell I am, and what I'm doing with my life. Other people can try to pretend away and try not to let the pains define them. It's already been defined on me already. I lived with it all my life. I'm not the easiest person to get used to or to get to know. It takes a long while for me to get my trust going. And try to befriend if I could. The rest of the time, I look at people and I don't trust them. Because I'm always looking for that hand with the dagger in it. Call it fear, but I've had it happen too many times. I deal with the pain, I deal with the grieving, I deal with the mourning, but the problem is isolation doesn't exactly help me very much, but lying about it doesn't help me much either. And I have to find the brutal honesty about it. Someone else's version of honesty is probably conflicting with my own. My experiences doesn't prepare me for a lot, but me being an isolating jerk to a hell of a lot of people doesn't exactly help me much with trying to get support if I need it. The balancing act. How much do you trust? How much can you trust? Who can you trust? Who do you feel comfortable with? And then are you comfortable enough to have your back exposed? It's a lot of fear, a lot of paranoia. It's a hell of a way to live a life. But it's not living sometimes. It's existing through life and surviving through life. There may have been times I knew what living was all about. But having someone watch my back and I watch theirs, that requires a level of intimacy, well, of a sort anyway. That's a lot of faith, a lot of trust. Some people, yeah. And I try. And sometimes I don't feel like it's enough. A bloodline I sure as hell don't trust. Why? Because they hadn't earned it. They hadn't earned it. There was never deep-seated discussions. There was nothing that put out in front. I know in earlier conversations I may have had with one or two a long time ago. And sometimes it needs to be reviewed again. They don't like it. They don't want to deal with it. I have to. I have to. I'm not dropping it. Because I haven't had it earned. They haven't earned mine. They don't care to earn it. They say I'm being ridiculous. No, I'm not. Drop kicked by family members left and right. Not even conversations to find out what the hell is going on. Not even to see whether or not I'm alive or dead and don't even care about it as much. Oh, as long as I keep putting out the memes or crazy stuff out there, they'll think I'm still alive. What happens if somebody else is doing it in my own name and they don't even know about it? No one checks. See, as I don't have family I can trust anymore because we haven't developed that relationship to do so. There was always these things in the paperwork talking about emergency contact. I got no one. There's no one I trust. There's no one with a few things, or maybe with my dog. That's one thing, but they really don't know me as much. Sometimes I wish I had. Maybe one family, maybe two, if I'm lucky. But that's going to have to be a full. And knowing them, it gets harder and harder for them to deal with, and with their own issues, and then have to deal with mine. I don't want to be a burdensome to them, so I got no one to trust. Maybe a few people have thought, but I get backstabbed. Neighbor friends have been here for a few years, a little bit longer than that. But even that, get backstabbed. It takes a long while for trust to be earned. And then I have to watch out to see whether or not they still got that hand on a dagger ready to backstab me. I'll say it before and I'll say it again. Or your family members, let's say it again, still needs to have updated discussions. They don't want to bother with it. Just leave me out and just, that's about it. A bad memory to them. So does my family. It's a hell of a lot of anger and a hell of a lot of resentment. A lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted opportunity. I'm not always twirling a black mustache or wearing a black hat. Sometimes it's the other people who just don't give a shit. I talk about mourning, I talk about grieving, I talk about anger, I talk about my family, I talk about things left and right. That's what I do on my channel. I get it off my chest. I'm not taking it back. If I am, I'll probably do another video. But this one's going out anyway. I'm still a fool, I'm still an idiot. Goes without saying. But I'm not that foolish and I'm not that idiotic. I trust somebody who's going to be giving me a smiling face with a dagger in their hand ready to backstab me at any moment. Of course, to lie to me face on that one. I say, but I'm your friend. I'm this one. You're supposed to trust me. No, I don't. You gave me no quarter. You gave me no reason to. Bloodline just doesn't work anymore. Things happened in the past I can't change. Attitudes in the past I can't change. I still have to deal with today, here and now. And it's not that easy to deal with. I missed wedding. That's what happened one time. Sub chain reaction. And other things subsequent after that. And then trying to talk about things about it and how family members weren't given credence or even talked about. So much for a family trying to keep in contact with each other and trying to get the bloodlines contact with each other, but didn't work out too well, did it? So yeah, there was a lot of angry words a long time ago. Sometimes trying to be taken back, but were they? The resentment's still there. Nobody wants to deal with it. The hardest thing for me to do is let go of people that I cared about a long time ago. Kids got to grow up and realize that some people are just not meant to be with your life all the time. And sometimes you just can't accept them for what they are. Because you're too damn clouded with the past and anger and everything else that can't be resolved. You say, forget about it. I said, no, because they're usually what defines me at this point. And subsequent actions. Lack of communications. Or unwillingness to communicate. It's a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of resentment. It's a lot of anger, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of missed time. And by the time they're dead, another wasted opportunity I'll be adding another resentment to. Because no one took the opportunity to mend bridges. Would just let them all be nuked and let the radiation cook everything. Extended families out there, both biological and non. Well, it's easy enough for me to say the words, I'll forgive you. The thing is, I won't forget. I'll forgive you guys, but I don't forget. And that's going to be the hardest damn thing for me to live with for the rest of my life.